Hello, you're watching Daily News on Allnews Nigeria. I am Opeyemi Olugbemi. Here are the headlines for today. Lagos shuts Chrisland school over Pupil's death. Highlights from Peter Obi's campaign in Lagos. Allow old and new NAIRA notes coexist, says TINUBU. Welcome back. Now the news in detail. The Lagos state government has ordered the shutdown of Chrisland International School pending the outcome of the investigation to unravel the circumstances surrounding the death of a pupil, Whitney Adeniran, who died during the school's inter-house sport at Agege Stadium in the Agege area of Lagos State. The State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, confirmed the development on Sunday. Allnews Nigeria gathered that two narratives has been trailing the event that led to Whitney's death during the school's sporting activities at the stadium on Thursday, February 9, 2023. While eyewitnesses, the school management, and the doctor that attended to Whitney when she was rushed to the hospital for treatment claimed that a 12-year-old student slumped and died of cardiac arrest. The pupil's father, Michael, confirmed that his daughter was in fact electrocuted.
And what the school authority could tell me was that my daughter just slumped at the venue. So I asked them, has she already engaged in any activity at all? They said no. Did she do a march past? They said no. So what happened? How did she slump? And you rush her to the hospital. Now, I asked the nurse, because the school said they have a nurse who was on standby. So I asked the nurse, so what did you know about the death of my daughter, of my 12 years old? She said, well, she was also not at the point where the incident happened, that they beckoned on her to come. And by the time she got there, she checked her pulse, she checked her eyes, and she realized that her eyes already dilated. And she realized she's already gone, but she cannot pronounce her dead. That is why they took her to this health center, to a doctor who can certify her death. So my question is, when you realize that my daughter has died at that venue, did you reach out to the mother? You also knowingly well that the mother was present at that particular place. Did you call her? You did not call her. You hurriedly put her in a school bus and you took her to this place. And now you are telling me my daughter slumped and died. And I told them, there is something you guys know that you are not talking about.
The mother of the deceased girl, Mrs. Blessing Adeniran, in a video lamented that Whitney was not taken to a hospital. She was taken to an immunization center. Chronicling the circumstances surrounding her daughter's death during the school's sporting activities at the stadium, she said she was trying to locate the whereabouts of her daughter when one of the students said she slumped and was rushed to the hospital.
I was taken to an immunization center. But that is not even my pain. My pain is there was no proper first aid management. There was no proper management. There was nothing that was done for her. She was brought to the hospital dead because when her medical reports came in, it said dead on arrival. That was what her medical report said. When my husband came, he went in straight to where she was to pick his child and go to another hospital. He came in and met her dead. He screamed, shouted, "Desola! That is, yes, stand up. What is happening to my child?" My husband knelt down, crying, begging doctor, please help me. This is my first child.
This is not the first time Chrisland schools have been caught in a web of controversy. Recall that in 2022, a video depicting improper acts among some students of Chrisland School who went for a trip to Dubai went viral. The alert scandal happened when Chrisland School students was in Dubai in March 2022 to take part in the World School Games, a 4-day annual competition involving schools from around the world. The development came less than 4 years after a teacher in the school, Adegboyega Adenekon, was convicted and sentenced to 60 years in jail term for raping a 2-year-old female student. In other news, the popular Alaba International Market in Lagos State shut down on Saturday, February 11, during the visit of Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. The motorcade of the former Anambra State governor passed through the area Orile, among others, ahead of his presidential rally at Tafawa Balewa Square, TBS. Security operatives had a hard time controlling the crowd who trooped out and mobbed Obi. Supporters of the frontrunner were attacked by hoodlums. As they made their way to the TBS, vehicles were smashed by the thugs who wielded clubs and machetes. Meanwhile, a picture of Yusuf Alabi, a young boy who stood in front of the moving convoy of Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate, went viral on social media. While speaking in a short video, Alabi said he stood in front of Peter Obi's convoy to show his support for the Labour Party presidential candidate. One Ifeanyi Onukwubiri on Facebook promised to give the boy 100,000 naira cash and a phone. Obi Kubana and many others also followed suit to bless the boy financially. Recall that on Friday, February 10, a poll conducted by Bloomberg named Obi the most desired candidate for the presidential election with an estimated 66% support base. Finally, on the news, APC presidential flag bearer Bola Ahmed TINUBU has been quizzed on how he would tackle the issue of unemployment in Nigeria if he eventually becomes the president. TINUBU had this to say.
Opportunity, tackle the power problem head on. People can work by themselves. A common school driver can create a path to fortune if electricity is taken care of and other infrastructural areas. Carrying them along. And the change of mindset, I say, I will repeat that over and over again. Patriotic commitment, the conversion of negativity to a positive drive, and partnership with the private sector to create a job, to put an incentive there. If you hire 500 new employees, why can't I, as a government, give you some tax incentive to offset that payroll and the pension contribution that they may be associated with it?
Meanwhile, the former Lagos State governor has besieged the Central Bank of Nigeria to let old and new NAIRA notes coexist as legal tender for 12 months. The Jagaban of Lagos, as it's fondly called, urged the Apex Bank to suspend all charges associated with online transactions and bank transfers. The current crisis is resolved. And that's it on today's news. Join us tomorrow for more news updates. You can also follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. I am Okweyemi Olubemi. Do have a lovely day.